happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. We're back with more Lackey Grand Prix gameplay. Now onto the last round of Swiss for Lackey Grand Prix 26, 28. the other one, Lackey Grand Prix 28. And so yeah, this is round 4 of Swiss. After this is Top Cut, which I do have a chance of getting into if I win this game. So as you can see, it's important for me to win this game and take this game seriously, so that's what we're doing by playing a combo deck. Going into this game, I think there was a chance for Micah, my opponent, known as RexLikeDino. I don't know why John Hendricks said Dino. It's like T-Rex, like Dino, like dinosaur. I think he might have settled on RexLikeDino, I think, in the podcast, because Micah made it into the power rankings. But anyway, he's my opponent for this round, and I think going into this round there was a chance that he could still make Top Cut depending on how the other guys who were at the same number of points did in their games, based on, or because I think there were 4 people that could have ended up with 7.5 points, and so then it would come down to differential. And I think that the way that the other games ended just meant that he wasn't able to get into Top Cut no matter what the result of this game was, which is a little bit of a bummer for him, because I think he was pretty excited to be able to have a chance at getting into Top Cut, and it would be 3 times in a row for him in the last 3 Lackey Grand Prix, or because he's been in it the last 2, and so this would be 3. And so that was a little bit of a bummer, but so there was a good bit at stake going into this game, though, for both of us. And so I was a little bit conflicted on, okay, do I actually want to play this combo deck or not? Because John Hendricks also on that podcast episode featured this deck as the deck of the week. It is the Disciples of the Lamb turn 1, or not turn 1, notably not turn 1, 1 turn win combo deck, and basically going like from 0 to 5 in 1 turn is, in theory, possible with this deck. And so that was the deck of the week. John had posted that. John Early had posted that after somebody else posted an unlimited Disciples of the Lamb combo deck, and so he posted his version of it, and that is roughly the version that is going to be used in this game. I was going back and forth between actually using the combo deck and using something like Banishing Act, to give myself probably better odds, I guess, of doing well. I think that the combo deck is very glass cannon-y, so it's fun when it works and you get it to work, but it kind of flops when you don't. And so we're going to be seeing whether or not I can actually pull it off in today's game, and whether or not this is a worthwhile adventure that you could take if you want to try out your hand at a combo deck. So how it works is Disciples of the Lamb says, if you use by a disciple during your rescue attempt and you control 12 good disciples, you may search deck, discard pile, or reserve for a lamb icon card. The notable part here is that it says discard pile, so that means that you can take Son of God from your discard pile if you meet all of those conditions, and then you have to be able to bounce it with Lost Child Found so that you can replay Disciples of the Lamb, and that way you get 2 extra plays of Son of God. So if you play Son of God, Second Coming, Son of God, Son of God, that's 4 lost souls, and then you just need to win that battle, rescue number 5. So if you can do that, you can go from 0 to 5 in 1 turn. It is quite difficult to do, though, because you have to have 12 good disciples, you have to have initiative to be able to play everything, and you have to get everything together and basically avoid your opponent disrupting. If they see what's going on, all they have to do is play an enhancement or a dominant or something to get rid of one of your disciples in territory, or maybe 2 if you've got all 13 of them out there, including Judas and Matthias. But basically, there's very little margin for error for for things not going right. And so if you don't have all the pieces you need, then it's tough to pull off. In a 50 card deck, it's going to be tough to pull off because you don't have much room for cards that aren't dedicated to the combo. So as you can see, our defense is very slim here. But I think that this deck is probably the best deck that I've seen that as far as its chances of being able to pull off the combo quickly. I think there could be another more balanced version that's like not as worried about getting the combo as quickly, where you are playing a little bit more defense, and so you might actually be able to get a couple of blocks. But this deck is definitely more aggressive in the sense that it's really all in on the combo, trying to get it on turn 2, to where if you pull it off, for one, your opponent's probably going to have a less likelihood of being able to disrupt the combo because they haven't had the time to accumulate as many resources, and two, they just like won't have an actual opportunity to win the game, because if you're winning on turn 2, they've at most had 2 turns. Ideally, you're going first, and they've only had 1 turn. And so, unless your opponent is also on this sort of combo deck, they will not have been able or like have the opportunity to win the game, because they're just rescuing 1 lost soul each turn, plus Son of God, Second Coming. If they have had 2 turns, that's only 4 lost souls. Not too hard to count, but bear with me. Thanks for coming along with me. So that is kind of the idea with this deck. It doesn't always happen on turn 2, but I think that turn 3 is also pretty decent, especially if you go first, because your opponent only has 2 turns. If your opponent goes first and you pull it off on turn 3, then basically that just means that your opponent hasn't drawn Son of God or Second Coming, or it means that they maybe can't play them because they rescued a Vindicated for their 3rd lost soul, or Emperor Nero or Goliath somehow got a block. It's possible, but it's not likely, and also you don't really want to, because the way that this deck actually is able to get this off on turn 2 somewhat consistently is by using Jeremiah and kind of the cheeky ability that he has to play enhancements of any brigade from reserve. And then in order to actually do that, you use Goliath to basically set that up. So the way that works is tribute. You can discard it to give a card in territory to opponent's territory, and then protect that card from harm this turn. You give them Goliath to your opponent's territory, and then you want to choose Goliath to block by using either Simon the Zealous, or we've also got Joseph of Arimathea here. And if we choose Goliath to block, he will kick out the guy that you use to choose the blocker, and then you can present Defender of the Saints, ideally, to exchange to Jeremiah in your deck. Or if you just have Jeremiah, then you can block, or you can attack with Jeremiah, hope your opponent doesn't have 3 woes to negate him. That's basically the skinny there. But there are plenty of ways to get Jeremiah back into your deck, like Grumbled, Shepherds. You can underdeck him, or you could just discard him with Prosperity, and then use Defender of the Saints to go to discard pile, because you don't really need to do this more than once. So the way that you can actually choose Goliath on the same turn is by using Satan's Seat to negate protectabilities on tribute, or negate the protectability on tribute. So the protect that card from harm this turn will make it so that you can use, or you can give Goliath to your opponent and choose him to block on the same turn. So most of your opponents are probably going to be smart enough where if you just attack with a straight Jeremiah, they're not going to block. They don't care. They're going to win, or they're going to win that race anyway, most likely. And so basically this guarantees that they don't have a choice. They have to block, and then they will have to give you initiative eventually, unless they happen to have black enhancements, in which case Jeremiah would have been the last card played in battle. It's going to be a stalemate because Jeremiah is a 1/11, Goliath is a 10/10, and so it's actually your opponent's initiative first. Hopefully they're not playing black and have something that you can't deal with. If they do you have something, you've got ways to hopefully deal with that, like Amazing Faith or, Do Not Be Afraid. But it's possible that they would have something that you don't have an answer to. So it was a little bit risky there, like bringing fear. That'd be pretty bad if they happen to play Philistines and just had that or not among you. Those CBN negates are going to be tricky. There's no humble in here to help you get through that. So that's something to watch out for. If you're not able to get around that, then maybe give them Nero and hope that you can somehow pull it off there. I don't know. I mean, you can't choose him to block, so yeah, I don't know how you're going to get Jeremiah in that case. So never mind, probably don't do that. You just kind of got to hope for the best and make your opponent use up their enhancements some other way, or just let Jeremiah die and then get him back somehow. Maybe, if you go defender to deck and then draw into defender, try it again on the next turn. Keep their Goliath around, but not their enhancements. So anyways, that's kind of the idea with the combo, how you're going to set it up. And then once you've got Jeremiah in battle against Goliath, hopefully you get initiative. You can play Potter in the Clay to make sure that you keep that initiative. And then you use Sent 2x2 and Song of Moses to get all of the other disciples out that you need. And then you can use Lost Child Found to bounce them if you need to get more disciples. You can use Do Not Be Afraid to shuffle your Lost Child Found, and then search for it with search so that you can have it again for the combo. You can use Amazing Faith to go get a good dominant, which can be Crowd's Choice. That can get you whatever piece you need. And you can use Emmaus Road to get pieces as well. Make sure you put down all of your disciples in hand before you attack, because there's no way to get them out of your hand into play except for Sent 2x2. So you can get 2 of the disciples into battle, but from your hand, but otherwise that's going to be pretty much it. You do have to have a disciple that can play both Disciples of the Lamb and Lost Child Found, which is, or maybe bring in 2 disciples so that one of them can play either one. But basically, you need a hero that can play Lost Child Found. John the Revelator is going to be that guy, and also conveniently negate special abilities on evil characters and lost souls. So if your opponent has a complacent, then John the Revelator can take care of that before you have to start playing dominance there. So that is kind of the idea, and then the finisher to rescue the 5th lost soul is going to be Eternal Inheritance. Make sure that you don't play this before you play Disciples of the Lamb, because you have to be in a rescue attempt with Disciples of the Lamb in order for Eternal Inheritance to work. If the battle continues as a battle challenge, then it doesn't work. So that is pretty much the whole deck, the whole concept here. There are 3 cards that are different from the version that John Early, RedDragonThorn, posted. One of them is Vain Philosophy instead of Mayhem. Mayhem is maybe better than Harvest Time, but I think Vain Philosophy is better than both of them, is worth the slot over both of them, because this is so glass cannon-y that you need ways to prevent your opponent, or I guess limit your opponent's options for interaction. So if you play Vain Philosophy before you attack to underdeck their 3 woes or their Crowd's Choice or their Second Coming, then you can hopefully stop them from interacting with the combo. You do have to be able to play dominance, so you can't just like put up a complacent or something to restrict dominance to minimize your opponent's interactions. So you actually have to deal with their dominance in some other way. So Vain Philosophy is one way to do that. Another way to do that is the Vindicated Lost Soul, which came in for the Lost Souls Lost Soul. If I wasn't playing Harvest Time, then maybe maybe I replace a different Lost Soul here, but because I decided to keep Vain Philosophy over Mayhem instead of Harvest Time, then cutting Lost Souls seemed okay. So I probably don't have to make tokens for my opponent to rescue, because Harvest Time will be able to get out all of the Lost Souls that I need. I also like the Harvest Time into Vindicated play that you can make, where if your opponent is attacking on their either their turn 1 if you went first, or their turn 2 if you went second. Then if you harvest time into your Vindicated and give it to them kind of as a surprise, like if they don't happen to have Son of God, or if they're not negating Lost Souls somehow, then Vindicated can basically open the doors for you to pull off the combo without your opponent being able to interact with their dominance, which is really going to be the main threat to the combo. The last card was a little bit of a tech card for this matchup because I'm familiar with what Mike has been playing, which is kind of a turbo confusion, brown and good gold, NT gold deck, and it's very solid. He's been running it for the past few Grand Prix, and so I wasn't going to play the combo deck just to walk into a turn 1 confusion and not have any way to deal with that. And so I put in Covenant of Prayer over 5th Seal Justice Seekers. And I think that the Ahasuerus the Father plus confusion play is popular enough where that merits a slot anyway. And I think that this would have been a good, so I think that this would be a good call either way. I haven't played the deck enough to know how much you would miss 5th Seal Justice Seekers in this case, because you do have to have enough tutors available in your reserve to be able to get to your Disciples of the Lamb, get to your Lost Child Found. You've got Emmaus Road that can go to Lost Child Found, and you've got Search that can go to Disciples of the Lamb, but there are other pieces that you might need in order to actually pull off the combo fully. I haven't done it enough to really be confident in that, but that was the switch that I felt like made the most sense. And, in a pinch, Covenant of Prayer can be used to grab something else from reserve. I guess that doesn't really matter because you're playing everything off of Jeremiah anyway, so you don't really need to do that. But maybe if your opponent puts something in your reserve, like with NT Gold, as you will see Micah is running, then that can be helpful as well. So it's a little bit of a tech for the matchup that I know I'm getting myself into, but also I think it might just be the right play overall for the deck anyway, because the popularity of confusion, if Son of God is banished, this deck isn't doing anything. You can maybe get a rescue with Authority of Christ, and that's pretty much it. There's no other battle-winning dominance. I guess you could maybe pull off Eternal Inheritance as well, if you're lucky. But, yeah, pretty much otherwise it's just attacking with Jeremiah and hoping your opponent is scared, and you're probably not going to win that race unless you happen to go first and get a little bit lucky with that. So, anyway, that is the deck. I think that's everything worth mentioning at this point. I will at the end, or after the game, I don't usually do this, but after the game, just because it is kind of a fun combo deck, I'm going to do a little bit of a review of the game, some things that maybe could have gone better or differently, or just talking about the deck and things that could maybe change to make it more. I guess you probably can't make it any more glassy or any more canony than this, but I do just want to talk about some parts of the game that could have gone differently, as I sometimes like to do with my opponent afterwards anyway. But in this case, I think there was a particular thing that I didn't realize until after the game that would be good to point out, just to help round out the video a little bit. So I want to do that. So stick around for that at the very end after the game, and after talking with Micah a little bit afterwards. And of course, before we get into the game, got to give a shout out to our sponsors over at Your Turn Games. Head on over there to check out all the redemption supplies that you might need, especially as the big tournament season is coming up. There are lots of state and regional tournaments on the calendar. So, for one, check those out. You can head over to the redemption resources here, and you can find different tournaments where they're happening. I think it links to the Cactus site. So yeah, you can go here to, or actually it links to the Redemption CCG app, which pulls the data from the Cactus site. So you can You can get there eventually, but yeah, you can see the list of all the tournaments going on leading up to nationals here. But yeah, you can see there are plenty going on. Hopefully there are some in your area, and if you need some cards to prepare for that, Your Turn Games is the place to pick those up. Shipping is always relatively quick, and Andy's a great guy to work with. And so if you are, maybe if you don't have a deck at all, you can just buy a pre-built deck, and a lot of them are just ready to play in a tournament right away. They've got sleeves, deck box, some dice, everything you need. So go on over to Your Turn Games, check them out, give them some love, sign up for the rewards to make sure that you can get some of what you give back and get some good deals later down the road. And with all that said, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and get into the game with Micah. Let's do it. Go ahead and start a timer here.
Yep. Also, this is rigged. I play your brother, then I play you, but you play your brother in the first round every tournament. It's not rigged.
It is ridiculous a little bit. Yep.
Tim, fix your RNG.
Yep. Oh, man. Okay, let's see here. I rolled a 3.
Okay, let me roll. I rolled a 4.
Alrighty.
Just that little bit better, so interesting. The question is, are you playing Vindicated because of me, or are you playing Vindicated because it's Vindicated?
Why not both?
I love seeing Vindicated, man. It's arguably my favorite Lost Soul, and it's so underrated. I love to see it.
Yeah, I think
anyway,
it definitely catches people off guard if they're not used to it.
I think I'm going to go first because I don't think there's that much you're going to do. So I have 2 stars. I'm going to reserve the top card of your deck, and I'm going to play Lost Soul from my deck.
All right.
Reserve first, Angel from the Sun. That means we're probably playing against Clay. I don't mind that matchup. Also, to keep in mind that I'm going against Clay. Oh, excuse me. I should probably either put down what's in my hand right now. Yeah, I am most definitely probably going to either want to put down this or put down the other one. Considering what's in my hand right now, let's go for good old Complacent.
Alrighty.
And then you may use your star abilities.
I think I will go grab a Meek Disciple and also play a Lost Soul from my deck.
Neat.
Yeah. Let's do...
So I see Lost Child Found and Clay, which makes me think is this, because it's you as well, you like gimmick decks, is this some kind of Disciples of the Lamb FTK?
I will neither confirm nor deny at this point.
So yes.
I'm going to grab Outcry.
Sure. Philistines. I like it.
So we'll go ahead and exchange a card. Let's do... Yeah, let's do this one. Go get a Philistine.
Yep.
Just get the big bad boy himself.
Okay. So that alone changes what I'm going to do this turn.
Okay. Oh, and then let's see. So your Wicked turns on, and then I get my Grumbled here.
Yep.
Let's do... Don't necessarily need that at this point. And then draw 1.
Reasonable.
Alright.
Alright.
That is it.
Alright, I'm going to move to prep phase.
Yep.
I'm going to put down Storehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if it's okay with you, I'd like to, actually, during the prep phase still, I'm going to put down Gyrus, and then if it's okay with you, I'd like to move to the battle phase.
Sure.
I'm going to move to the battle phase. I'm going to rescue with Gabriel. There is no evil card in play to target. And instead of doing that, I'm going to choose an evil card from your deck and reserve an evil card from your deck.
Well, that's not very nice.
Thank you. Ooh. I just realized I can just totally hit. So, yep, clay stuff. Basically, yeah, so it is Disciples of the Lamb FTK. Is this that, with Jeremiah, though? Interesting. And to me, it looks like you pretty much have your entire defense in your hand. So, I think, just to be safe, I kind of want to hit your... Well, I either want to hit Nero so you don't get Denarius Engine, or I'm just smart and I hit your woes.
Sure.
You have a lot of, like, evil dominance that I'd love to hit. And then you have a lot of, like, you have not many evil characters. So I'm like, do I shut down Denarius or do I just get rid of the...
Right. Yep. Okay. Just Gabriel, huh?
Yep, just Gabriel.
You did put down the Jairus, so that's smart. Yep, I will give you Outcry.
That's fine. Okay, I'm gonna pass turn, and I hopefully won't be crying.
Alright, I got a couple stars.
Yep.
I'll do Bearing Our Sin, reserve it to draw one.
Yep. VB.
And Virgin Birth. Look at my top 6. I will take Judas.
That's completely reasonable.
Yep. Send that to the bottom. Let's go ahead and put Judas down as a hero.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. You want those disciples in play.
Ideally, yep. Let's see. Then
The way Disciples of the Lamb works, it doesn't care if your disciples are evil, does it?
Well, disciples can't be evil, so.
I mean,
Judas is not a disciple when he's an evil character.
Okay. Well, I just figured, for example, let's say something got converted. Would it then still be a disciple? But
I don't think so. I think it's one of the ones.
It just loses its modifiers.
Right.
Or not modifiers, identifiers. They're both fires, man.
Loses the
Last
fires.
I mean, church building.
There are certain identifiers that don't convert, like thief or Pharisee, magician,
good to know.
prophet.
Good to know.
Yeah. At least
That
I
is
think
very
Pharisee
good.
is one of them. Yeah. I don't know.
Very well. Continue.
Yeah. Let's see here. What do I want to do?
I'm not sure what you want to do.
It's tough. Let's do... Yeah, I think I will just go to battle.
Yeah, before you do that, I'd like to play some DOMs.
Sure.
And play Crowd's Choice is good. I'm going to get Harvest Time, and then I'm going to play Harvest Time and play all the souls from both our decks.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't have an issue with searching the one Nero in your deck and getting Shepherds. It is a shame to see 3 Lost Souls all with if drawn abilities not work, though.
Yeah.
Hey, and there's my Vindicated as well.
Look at that.
Yep. Wait, you have? Oh, I was confusion. I was confusion. I'm like, wait, 7 lost souls, but you have Hopper, and then I'm like, oh, I rescued one.
Yep.
Idiot.
That
All
is
right.
it.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so let's see, I gotta do my darkness.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and grab the Nero.
Yep. No Denarius for you. Nah. Denarius still works. I know. I'm just being silly.
And then Shepherds, let's...
Underdeck the Nero, draw 1.
Thinking about it. No, we'll underdeck this one, draw 1.
Also reasonable.
Yep. Might have been the Nero,
I
I
can't
guess.
see what it is,
Yeah.
but you could be bluffing. It is Nero.
I will neither confirm nor deny. Okay, so you got Crowds, Dull, Humble, Vindicated. Cool.
Every annoying soul in the game, basically.
Fair enough, yeah.
Could be worse. Could be like Forsaken, Salty. But I don't play the floodgate. I just play to make my stuff work.
Yep, makes sense. Alright, let's put down Joseph.
Because I enjoy fun. Do you like having fun, Jaden?
I mean, depends on the day. In this case, I'm not so sure if I like your version of fun. Look,
No.
reveal, or search.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's less my version of fun and more people getting to play the game. My version of fun is you're allowed to play the game, but I'm allowed to play the game.
Alright, well, I'll put down...
None of this nonsense battle dom stuff.
Trying to figure out if worried I am about some of those lost souls.
You should be.
Yeah, perhaps.
Mm.
Let's go for yeah, alright, I'll still just go to battle here.
Okay.
So I will go with Peter. I will not convert, but I will ban to Andrew, who will convert to negate enhancements.
I thought you said you were converting Peter.
No, Peter will not convert.
Okay. Okay. Right. So let's just do this. And that worked. Yep, I'm gonna block with Heyman. Doesn't really matter too much. I'm gonna go to my deck. And I think you know what time it is.
That seems reasonable.
Yep. Heyman's plot. Because no doms, so I assume it's my initiative.
Sure. Yep.
And then both heroes in battle die, and I think Joseph die.
Alright.
Or yeah, sure, Joseph dies. I probably should have killed one of your disciples, but you probably are on redemption, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's already either way. Alright. I'll put down Age of the Winds.
Yep.
And yeah, I will pass turn.
Alright. I will draw for turn. Good to know. Okay, awesome. I love that. No stars. We're gonna go straight to prep. I'm gonna play New Cove.
Yep.
Go get Gospel Enhancement. Said Gospel Enhancement will be teaching in parables.
Seems pretty good.
I will I should probably read. Sure. I will play teaching in parables, negating Vindicated, your Vindicated, for that matter.
Yep.
And then go reserve something from your hand.
Yep.
Um, good to know. Good to know. Good to know. I'll kick out your Nero.
Boo.
And then I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna go to battle. I'm gonna go Gabriel. I'm going to negate Hammond, and then I'm gonna go into your deck and reserve an evil card.
If you find
So
anywhere.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything in here? Well, that technically does. That would work. I'm gonna reserve your. I'm gonna reserve your crowd's choice.
Okay. Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, I think you have to give me a soul.
I think you are correct. Yeah. All right. I will give you the Lawless.
Yep. Okay, cool. And your turn.
Draw 3.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, I guess I should have done that. Ooh, is that worth it at this point? Probably. Let's use the star on. Yeah, use a star and offering your son, discard delivered, draw 1.
Sure.
And yep, we'll put down Goliath.
Sure.
Play Wages.
Mm-hmm.
Go get Satan's Seat.
Yep.
And we'll go ahead and put down the seat.
Yep.
And then I think makes sense just to go to battle here.
Before you do that, I'd like Dominish.
Sure.
I'm gonna play Falling Away and Underdeck Angel of the Winds.
You suspected my plan, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So my initiative then, or mine. Good to go to
Yeah,
battle.
you can go.
Right.
Yep.
Well, we got this one instead. We'll try that.
Sure.
Let's go get Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
And convert to Meek. Take
Congratulations, you draw 2 cards.
Yay. That's all the cards I wanted. Little did you know.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna get 2 dull triggers now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go to my deck, and I'm gonna search 2 cards. I'm gonna get Confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And do I want to be a little extra cheeky? Yeah, sure. Let's get Descent Against Moses. Sure, why not? That could work.
Okay.
So, or I could be even funnier and just get Blood Avenger. I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with this.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna block. I'm gonna block with Horseman.
Yep.
Which do I want? I will draw 2, and I'll also get from my reserve Better to Be Slaves, and then my initiative. I assume it is because
Suppose.
no dom.
Yep.
I am going to banish your Son of God with confusion.
Oh, I was right on top.
Neat. And then it's still my initiative, so I'm gonna keep playing stuff. I'm gonna go Better Be Slaves. I'm just move this stuff up here. Capture him. Capture him. Capture him. Draw 3 since you have more cards in your hand than me.
Sad.
And then I'm gonna play because it's still my initiative somehow. Mask of Arrogance.
Slaves stays.
Oh yeah, never mind. I'm being silly. Mask of Arrogance, interrupt, draw 3. Play this. No good enhancement to negate. Turn this off. Activating, go into captivity. I'm going to attempt to discard go into captivity to capture Matthew.
Sure. Yep.
All right. And then I'll draw 1. All right.
Cool. Fun times. I will. Yep. We'll pass turn.
All right. Draw for turn. Bit of shame. Didn't get the card I wanted, but that's okay. I'm just gonna go prep phase because not really anything. I mean, I guess I have storehouse, but I don't really need that right now. I'll just get plague. Sure. Put storehouse, and then I will go prep phase. Put down the temple. Put down the res revealer to negate your neutrals.
Yep.
Sure. Son of God vindicated. Second coming. Get back Son of God. Rescue that. And then let's go this way. New Cove, go to deck, get my personal favorite card, play that.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine I don't need to do most of this stuff. I'm just being extra careful.
Fair enough. Can't blame me for that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to BM here. And then I guess I just go. I mean, it's either reserve a card from your deck or just play it safe. I think.
Are you going to battle?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Before battle, I'm gonna ask for Dominish.
Yeah, you may play Dom.
Warrior Overtaken, discard your Gabriel. He's a meanie. And then I'm gonna play Harvest Time for 13 million. I'm gonna play Second Coming to get Harvest Time back for 2. Play it.
Okay. Right. How come? Oh, so you're just playing the Doms to play the Doms?
Yep. You can go to battle now. Cool. If you want to attack, you don't have to, but I mean,
I feel like I kind of want to win, so I'm just gonna go Watchful underdeck, or sorry, reserve the bottom card of your deck.
Yep.
And then make a generational fumble of ban to Gyrus, do nothing.
All right, good to block.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Good game.
Okay, good game, man.
Well, I think I'm trying to figure out if on turn 1 I don't think I played a territory class enhancement. I think I could have just gone to wages to Satan's seat and then attacked with Matthew instead of the Peter thing, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
but by then, since I went first, you still would have probably only gotten a draw two.
Yeah,
Or yeah, that would have been a draw two still.
right.
Um, but yeah, I mean,
Would you have blocked a Jeremiah on that last turn? If I went defender of the
no,
Saints to Jeremiah.
no, I would have just given you vindicated.
Darn. Yeah. I kind of figured, but yeah,
The
that
funny
was a
thing
bit
is,
of
I
a
do
bummer.
actually run a way to out that. I just didn't have, any of my three searchers. So what I probably would have done if you went defender to Jeremiah is I would have gone, okay, you search, dull, grab Abner. Jeremiah is not in battle anymore, but you don't have any OT heroes.
Oh
So
yeah,
that kind of doesn't work here. So I was like, okay, well, if defender Jeremiah, I just give you vindicated and then see what I can do.
right. Yeah, I think I might have like if that was the route that I was gonna go, I might have needed to just, or I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess I could have done that either way, but I might have needed to play Second Coming to grab Son of God to just rescue Vindicated because that kind of
Yeah,
puts a
the other way I
damper on
could
the whole
have,
situation.
yeah, I could have maybe gone like a Hacerus, but then obviously I did not have the ability to play off of it, so I just was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to bother with that. So
Right.
if you Jeremiah, I already knew like I'm just giving you vindicated. I'm not even doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if I don't know if I had given you Vindicated on that first turn. Like, I mean, you don't really want to because you kind of want to Vindicated for the combo turn on round two.
Yeah,
But if I had just given it to you to slow you down a little bit, assuming that you didn't have too many battle doms because you're running complacent, then maybe I would
yeah.
have been okay. But
The only DOMs that I play for battle is ironically falling away,
right, yeah.
but
Well, I
that's
mean,
more for his
yeah,
cheese.
yeah, Zacchaeus, yeah.
Zacchaeus cheese on the cheeseburger. That of which is the name of this deck, as you know.
Yep, yep. Um, yep. I think going second there was not great
Yeah,
against your storehouse, and then your uh,
crowd,
how
so
did you
forth.
how did you look at my hand? Or no, you looked at something and just, oh yeah, no. I searched for Goliath, and then you figured out that I
Yeah,
had it. So
yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
I was
in order to win, you only have two evil characters, but thus is the life of playing any clay deck.
yeah, I was going back and forth between doing or running like Banishing Act or something, and just
Yeah,
and playing this because John uh, had it on the podcast, and he was like, "Oh, I want to actually see this in action." And I was like, "I don't know if it's gonna work." Like, I mean, it's
yeah,
as glass cannony as it gets, but I was like, "Yeah,
yeah,
let's try it out. Do it for the content." Michael likes to have fun,
yeah.
so
That's the first thing I thought of was like, yeah, this deck's a complete glass cannon. It's you either pull the FTK off or you just lose.
yeah, yeah. I
um,
think
but yeah,
I don't know. I was trying to figure out if the turn before you reserved Crowd's Choice, if there was something that I could like second coming to Crowd's Choice to go get that would set me up. And I don't know that I had anything.
I mean, to be completely fair, I like decks like that, like Disciples of the Lamb, so forth. I do think the best possible deck you can be playing for like some kind of alternate win condition would be the Exodus Turbo, just because you have Covenant of Time, so you can just go Moses to Plague of Hail. You have, Taphnes, and then you have a bunch of other cards that can mill, and then you just get your opponent to 10 because they're going to draw, and you're going to mill like 20. And
yeah.
then you're just like, okay, play the Exodus, Covenant of Time, play the Exodus, so forth.
Well, the
Uh,
Exodus says if rescuing, right?
it said, it says if all the heroes in battle are Exodus heroes, you can rescue a Exodus hero. But your opponent has to have 10 or less cards in their deck.
Well, so the Unity rescuing heroes means
Yeah.
that it has to be a rescue attempt. So once you play it once to rescue your Exodus hero, it, I believe, turns it into a battle challenge, right?
No, because you can rescue an Exodus hero in your territory.
Well, like once you play an enhancement that rescues a lost soul, I think, or like rescues a card. Once you, I believe that turns it into a battle challenge by default. Like it used to be on the card, so like Lamb's Righteousness says
Yeah.
battle continues as a rescue attempt. Let's
Uh,
see. Yeah, okay. If a rescue attempt becomes successful in the middle of a battle, it continues as a battle challenge, and normal lost souls can be rescued by cards played in battle for the remainder of the battle, including during battle resolution.
yeah, but that doesn't matter because you've already probably won one lost soul earlier in the game. You've played big two, and even if it's still a battle challenge, your opponent still has a guy in battle, and you still have initiative, so you can still play it again. And then obviously, since it's white, you can just play Lost Child Found, get it back, and then play it a third time, and then it's GG's.
Well, I'm just saying that once you play it the first
Yeah.
time, then you no longer have the unity. So it's not going to work if you try to play it in the same battle twice.
Well, I thought it would have worked, but that's an example that I came up with if
Yeah.
that actually was functionally.
What you
Sorry, Charles, I made you build a bad deck. Uh,
what you can do
uh,
is you can play Mimicking Miracles to copy it, rescue
yeah,
your Exodus hero, because that doesn't care about the unity.
yeah, that
And then you just have to bounce Mimicking Miracles with something else, and
oh,
then copy it again.
time for mimicking grain.
Basically, except you have to use Mimicking Miracles to
Obviously,
copy Grain Offering, and then yeah, it
yeah,
doesn't quite work, but
it's a Type 2 deck.
yeah, Type 2 deck. There you go. Ooh, and you can
uh,
use 2 copies of the Exodus in the new Type 2
yeah, and
rules.
then you get
So
4 copies of Queen Daphne's.
yeah, it's gonna take a while for them to get 10 or fewer cards.
I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
yeah, good game. I do think I I honestly was expecting to play against something like Banishing Act or the what's that deck you were playing last time we played? It was the deck with the Assyrians where you were trying to kind of stop Battle Doms a little bit as well.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were gonna pull
What
out like
offense
one
did
of
I do
those
with that?
decks or something. But yeah, no, I mean
No,
good game. Uh I mean I
decided,
guess
decided to get a little
hey,
crazy this time.
I guess we're in triple top cut probably, which
Yeah.
is nice. But and actually I have regionals in like this coming Saturday. So,
Oh, sweet. Nice. Good luck with
you
that.
already know. I have this little metal wall and I see right here I see second place, second place, second place. Those are all regionals. I need first place one. So if I can go to regionals and win here, then hey, maybe I'll make my own video on this deck because then I can be like, yeah, so it's top cut of the last 3 Grand Prix, won a state and won my regionals. It's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty solid.
But
Yeah, I do. I like the deck, and I like the tweaks that you've made over time. It feels pretty strong. Seems like you get
for sure,
confusion off fairly often, which is more than can be said for I think most
most.
confusion decks.
Yeah, I think I genuinely believe that this is my favorite part about this deck is that everything I do in this deck is underrated.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to play good seed main deck even in NT Gold, and it's the reason why you play NT Gold.
Yeah.
Like good seed is my favorite card for a reason. Heck, like oh wait, I actually probably shouldn't mention that because it has to do with
Trying
edited by Moses.
to.
So
Yep.
I'm not going to say anything there, but
It's a good call.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like, with the Lost Soul lineup and just it fits the offense and the defense really
yeah.
well. So yeah, I like
I
it.
mean, I just like that I get to win with a deck called the Cheeseburger that runs NT Gold of all offenses. Call NT Gold bad again.
Yep. Yep. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I gotta
Yeah.
get going to
We
work
should
here.
probably head
So
out, but
yep.
yeah.
Thanks
Um,
for the game, and
Thanks for the
we'll
game.
good luck in Top Cut and at your regionals.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Later.
Bye. All right, so this is now future Jaden going back into the game. I've got the setup here of the beginning of my second turn, and I want to just talk about where I think things could have gone a little bit better. Hopefully, I didn't kind of give this away at the beginning of the video. I was kind of wondering, like, well, if I say that they should stick around to the end to watch, to get like a little recap of the game, it just kind of implies that something didn't go right for the deck, and now I have to kind of like justify it somehow. And that's pretty much exactly what it is. So hopefully, didn't give it away too much there, but you probably figured out pretty quick that things were going downhill. Anyway, but I mean, that's the thing about this deck is that because it can win in one turn, in theory, things can be going downhill as much as possible, and you can still turn it around and win, which is interesting and was actually, I think, I could have done here. Um, I'm not positive, of course. Like things definitely would have gone differently had I made different decisions. Michael would have made different decisions, but pretty much at this point is where, kind of looking back, I realized I could have made a different play or a couple different plays, really. For one, I should not have attacked on turn one. Like the attack with Peter into Andrew, I kind of got a little greedy because I was thinking like, oh, Micah's only got 4 cards in his hand. Maybe I can just kind of cheese a rescue here and get one on the board. I figured if I had, big numbers and was negating enhancements, then maybe I could do okay. But he had a humble out too, so really it didn't even make sense. I was just attacking with big numbers into whatever 4 cards he had left in his hand, which basically, as long as he had a blocker and a battle winner, he would have gotten it. And his deck, I think, is built well enough so that he can have, Deceiver, or I assume Malachite Slave is in there, or maybe Darius's Satraps, like just ways to get to the evil characters that he needs, especially someone like Haman, which he just naturally had in those 4 cards, which could just blow this attack out of the water and make things a little bit more difficult for me going down the road. So because I wasn't actually getting any value here, and because I can win the game in one turn, like I can go from 0 to 5 in one turn, I don't need a rescue on turn 1. It's nice because if you get it, that opens up your second coming to be Crowd's Choice into a combo piece. So that's like, because I had second coming early in the game, it is nice to like, okay, if I can cheese one here, if I can just happen to get a rescue, then I should go for it. But the fact that he took out my Peter, my Andrew, and my Joseph was pretty big. So like, if I still had all 3 of these guys, I got to put Peter down as meek because I want him to be green. Then when I get to my second turn, well, actually, I guess, and then at the end of my first turn, after I decide not to attack, if I don't attack, and I put down Goliath and play Wages to get my Satan's Seed at that point, then I save my 1 territory class enhancement, and that opens up more possibilities for my next turn to actually be able to find the combo pieces. Instead, what I did is I made the attack, these guys were blown up, and then it wasn't until the beginning of my second turn when I was like, okay, well, now I can play down Goliath, do Wages, get Satan's Seat, but then I've already used my 1 territory class enhancement for the turn, and I can't also play Offering Your Son to get Tribute. If I was able to play Offering Your Son to get Tribute here, then I can pull off the combo. So let's just say, hypothetically, Wages of Sin is back in my deck. And of course, this would have changed the order of my deck, so I might not have drawn Offering Your Son, or I might not have drawn Delivered, which I did also draw Delivered on that turn, which felt really bad that, like, okay, I got Delivered, I got Offering Your Son, and not Tribute. Like, of the 3 cards that I would have needed to draw, or, to use that would get me to Tribute, I drew the 2 that didn't get me there. But anyway, so my deck would have been shuffled, ordered a little bit differently, so maybe I don't draw into those. But it gives me the chance that now if I draw any one of those 3, whether it's Delivered, Offering Your Son, or Tribute, then I can play, either or any one of those 3 and get to the combo here. So if let's say Wages is in my deck. I guess it would have been shuffled in at this point. Or actually, no, probably, no, it would have still been on the bottom. But, so let's say that I have these guys still. Oops, and then I have Goliath down and Wages play Satan's Seat. The reason that I didn't do that on that turn was because putting Goliath down is a little bit risky. It leaves him vulnerable. And to something like Zacchaeus would have been probably the main threat in this game. But also, I mean, that said, he probably is more likely to get Teaching in Parables. Like I mean, Zacchaeus you could probably get with Angel of the Winds or something like that too. But getting to Teaching in Parables is a lot easier. I already knew that he had the New Covenant, I think. Or maybe he activated that on turn 2. I don't know for sure. But like having Goliath in my hand was actually probably more risky. The fact that he didn't, or that he reserved my Nero instead of my Goliath with his Teaching in Parables on turn 2 was actually, it gave me a little glimmer of hope. I was like, oh, okay. Because he did Nero, I actually might have a shot at pulling off the combo. Unfortunately, obviously we didn't get there. But I think Goliath might have actually been safer in my territory anyway. Weird as it sounds. So not taking that risk, I should have just gone for it. And I think I also just couldn't risk not having the option to play another territory class enhancement here. So let's say that, I have Satan's Seat already. This is my turn to draw. I can now play Offering Your Son to go to Tribute, and then use Tribute to give Goliath to my opponent, discarding this card, and then he's not protected from harm because of the negate on Satan's Seat. So at this point, I'm ready to go into battle. Remember that Micah still has Falling Away in his hand at this point. So based on what he sees here relative to what he knows already that I have, he might play Falling Away on Angel of the Winds to underdeck it still. But probably more likely, well, actually, yeah, I don't know. He kind of has to play it on Angel of the Winds because Simon has to come out in order to negate Color Guard in order to choose Goliath. However, Joseph would definitely be the more preferable attack for me here if I had the choice, because then I wouldn't be negating his Complacent, which I kind of want his Complacent at this point because I don't want him to be able to play Dominance until I'm ready to play Dominance. And if I leave his Complacent on here, then I'm kind of in control of that. If I attack with Simon the Zealous, he negates Lost Souls, and then kind of all bets are off. He's got the ability to play Dominance, and so do I. But I would rather wait until I'm ready, because I think there is a way for me to stop his Dominance before they can hurt me, I guess. So if we remember at this point, what I actually did on this turn, so he played Falling Away, underdecked my Angel of the Winds, and then I still had Reassuring Angels that could go to Matthew because I was negating the protectability on Storehouse. So I was able to look at his hand and draw a couple cards, and that was kind of a desperation move. Really, I should have just gone straight to Jeremiah here and hoped that he blocked. Like, that was really my best play, I think. Defender of the Saints, go to Jeremiah and hope that he blocked, and if he did, I can maybe get off the combo, and if not, then I at least get a Lost Soul and get on the board. That's probably the best way to do it, because I didn't give him Goliath at this point. I didn't have the way to tribute, but if I did, so let's say that he does underdeck my Angel of the Wind still, because that is my one way on the board. If I say I'm ready to go to battle, that's my one way on board that I have to choose Goliath, as far as he knows. Although, I mean, maybe he would have been like super big brain and recognized that in order to choose Goliath, I have to negate Lost Souls, and negating Lost Souls would turn off Complacent, and so that would give him an opportunity to play Falling Away during the battle. Who knows what would have been going through his head at this point. Like I'm saying, this is all hypothetical, so it's kind of a assuming that my opponent's plays were similar to what he did, when the situation isn't the same as what it was. So it's not necessarily a fair assumption to make, but this is I kind of just want to show, like, okay, there's a possibility, like there's legitimate viability to this deck, because I lost 5-0, but I could have won 5-2 if things had gone differently this turn. So if I attack with Reassuring Angels and go to Simon the Zealous, then I can convert him to Meek, negate Lost Souls, and choose Goliath to block. Simon gets kicked out. Defender of the Saints comes in, goes to Jeremiah, reveals my reserve, and that is, like, now the combo is set up to go. I've got a nice big reserve here because Micah put a number of cards into it during the game. So if you remember at this point, we were able to look at Micah's hand with Matthew and knew that he had Second Coming, the Depraved, Amazing Faith, and Persian Horseman. Unfortunately, Second Coming would have probably been able to get him to something that he could do something with. So, I mean, I guess this is assuming that he used his Falling Away pre-block, so I guess Angel of the Winds should really be in my deck here, or Joseph be converted, I guess. Oh, actually, yeah. Sorry, Satan's Seat negates Color Guard. I should have, yeah. So, I mean, this is also assuming that I recognize all the things that are going on the board. So Satan's Seat negates Color Guard. So my best play is actually just using Joseph to choose Goliath so that dominants are turned off. If Micah recognizes that, he converts Joseph to an evil character this turn, and I don't have a way to reset him. So yeah, I would still have to go with Simon to that, and then just hope that he doesn't have a dominant to interact with the combo at this point. I don't know. I don't remember for sure if he's playing Crowd's Choice. And if he already played Falling Away, then maybe he doesn't have anything that could. I mean, well, Second Coming to 3 Woes. If he plays 3 Woes at the right time, he could interact with something. But actually, I think I have a way around that. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. So I think we're okay here, because let's just assume that let's just assume that 3 Woes is his only, like, Second Coming route, because even if he has Crowd's Choice, I don't think he has any other evil battle dominance to deal with Jeremiah. So he's got a couple of dull triggers here. Actually, no, he doesn't, because I attacked with Simon, so don't have to worry about that. So he doesn't have anything that he can play on Goliath, which means that we get our magical Christmas land opportunity to play enhancements. So we can do Potter in the Clay. I don't think he's gonna bother playing 3 Woes on that, and doing that decreases. I mean, I don't even have to do this at this point, because I know that I don't know that he has nothing to play. So yeah, I still do this because I don't look at his hand in this situation or this scenario, whereas with Matthew I did. So now I decrease my Jeremiah, so he's a -3/7, and then Goliath is a 14/14. And then really this is just showing you how the combo could work as well. So that is maybe helpful for you as well, even if you're not as interested in hearing all of my this is what could have happened sort of a thing. But anyway, so Covenant of Time I could have used to take a good card from reserve. I guess Covenant of Prayer also would have worked. But I can take my Crowd's Choice, play it as evil, to then go get Vain Philosophy and play that, just to make sure that the coast is clear from 3 Woes and that kind of thing. So that would be what I do there. This would be converted to an artifact, and then at that point I would want to play those so that I can make sure that the coast is clear. And then from that point, I would basically be able to just pull off everything. So Song of Moses goes to go get. I guess I don't really. No, let's keep John and Thaddeus. So actually no, John and James. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, sure. And then I can play sent 2x2. At this point, you want to go get a small disciple, a small clay one, and then John the Revelator. I mean, really, you don't even need the clay one, but it's just helpful if you want to have more. Yeah, you kind of do, I guess. You do have to put both of them into play. And so just based on the numbers, it's better to have a smaller one to keep your initiative. So then you can use sent 2x2, discard it to add John to battle, add James to battle. And so now James is a 1-4. So I'm, -2. So 3, 19 or whatever. I don't know. Whatever the toughness is. I guess, no, 16. Anyway, 16 toughness, so it's still a stalemate at this point. But I get to look at John. I get to look with John's ability here at my opponent's hand, and of course, I guess I've already seen it with Vain Philosophy at this point. So I know the coast is clear, and can continue with my plans here. So at this point, I can do Amazing Faith to go and get Son of God from my deck. I can play Search to go and get Disciples of the Lamb. And then I think that's all that's really needed. I just put those in reserve instead of my hand. So then I can play Son of God, go get 1, play Second Coming to get 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got all 12 disciples that we need. Sorry, Philip, didn't make it this time. But we've got the ability now to play Disciples of the Lamb to go get Son of God for number 3. We've got Lost Child Found that we can use to bounce whatever we need to make sure that we maintain initiative here. So bounce those 3. Got to keep John in battle because he's the one who's playing Lost Child Found here out of my hand. And then Disciples of the Lamb on either of these 2 guys, again, for Son of God for number 4. And Eternal Covenant. Look, there's a Covenant active. We put that there earlier. And that's number 5. So, this could have worked, in theory. So I don't want you to just watch this video and be like, oh, this deck lost 5-0. Like, it never has a chance of winning. Like, it's legit, okay? I'm just not good enough to play it, apparently. I feel like if I had more reps with the deck, more times that I've played it and kind of figured out, like, okay, here's where I really have to commit. I think that's where you can be successful with this deck, like where you really get used to it. Josh Kinnett played it at TJC. Very similar version to this. I believe it had Vindicated and Vain Philosophy in there, which are things that John early had in a later version of the deck. I think he posted an earlier version from the sound of it when I was talking to him. I was like, hey, what happened to these cards? And he was like, oh yeah, I didn't post the as refined of a version. This is the more refined version because I'm doing it in a video, so got to make sure that we've got the the tippy top peak action going on, or the version going on here, as I always do with all of my decks. They're always refined and in their peak stages of development. Okay, anyways, that's not true. But I wanted to give this deck the best shot that it could, and as you can see, it maybe should have worked. Could have been close. In this case, Harvest Time might have been better as Mayhem, just for me, but that's because my opponent had already played Harvest Time and all the Lost Souls were out, so I wasn't really worried about the Soul Gen aspect. Harvest Time is probably still better overall just because of the sneaky Vindicated, and then also making sure that you have Lost Souls available to rescue with Son of God on turn 2, because your opponent has to have 5 Lost Souls out for you to be able to make sure that you get all of those, and you don't have the token makers, and you can't necessarily guarantee that you'll have gotten Hopper out at that point. So it's possible, it's viable. That's how you do it. if you're interested, definitely try it out. But you might have to give it a few times to kind of get used to it a little bit. Because when Josh played it at TJC, I realized I didn't finish telling that story. He was like, "Okay, this is the most terrible deck ever." Like he did not have very much success with it at all, and he's a good player, so I'm not like I'm not trying to dish him at all. Um, like I'm just saying that even strong players may not be able to kind of get this to be consistent, and that not always because of the strong player's fault. I think it's definitely partially on the deck itself, but I just wanted to show that there's merit to the deck. It's not just like a full gimmick deck. I think that there is actual validity to it. I think in the 2 games that I've played against it where John early is playing it, I'm pretty sure in both games he was like 1 piece away from getting the combo off against me, even though I knew exactly what he was going to be doing. So like the amount of interaction I had, I either had like one, or I think like just one enough piece of interaction, or he had one missing piece of the combo, and that was what determined the game. Kind of gave me enough time to to secure the win before he was able to pull it off. So there's something to that there as well. So I just kind of wanted to give that little wrap up before kind of calling it on the deck, because I feel like, I mean, I don't play enough games with the deck and like record all of them so that I can show you one where it actually works. I mean, sometimes I've done that where I've recorded a game a second time to really like give the deck justice, or I'll just make a separate video and still post the other game. But yeah, it's more fun to see it work. So you can't really blame me too much for that, I don't think, right? It's kind of boring when you just, I mean, well, I guess unless it's for some people. I think some people do like to watch me struggle and see if I can figure things out. So if you enjoyed the video for that reason, because you enjoyed watching me try to struggle to figure this out, or because you liked seeing the wrap up at the end here of like, okay, here's how it could have happened, then be sure to like the video and leave a comment. Tell me all those great things to boost the algorithm or something. If you want to see more combo decks, then let me know that as well, and I'll see what I can conjure up. Or if you just want to see like some of the same combo decks be played more often to see how often they actually can be pulled off, I'm down to try that as well. I don't have really any combo decks on the docket as far as like ideas that I'm coming up with, but I feel like there's got to be some more things out there. I don't know. They kind of put the kibosh on some of them with 1 territory class rule and the 4 activations rule, especially. So, they're a little harder to come by these days, but I think, like the Jerry Queen and Disciples of the Lamb, like they're both kind of fun combo style decks that I think have merit to them, even though they're not going to win, maybe a majority of their games. Although, I mean, I think Jerry Queen has won the majority of its games on the channel so far, if not all of them, right? Did I lose one? I don't remember. Anyways, that's where we're going to wrap things up finally for today, but thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.